Welcome back to another video, everyone. I've been seeing something that's been holding a lot of people back, so I decided to make a video and kind of talk you through my thoughts on the process. So, as I'm scrolling Instagram, I see a Q&A from Ian Valliere, one of the best bodybuilders in the world, a great Instagram follow with some good insights. And as a powerlifter, I love to see the insights of a bodybuilder. But what really caught my eye was this sequence of questions where somebody asked, "What's your favorite exercise to do?" And he said, "Deadlifts, but I don't do them anymore." And a couple questions later, someone said, "Well, why don't you do deadlifts anymore?" And he said, "My ass is too big and the deadlifts make my ass bigger." Now, as a bodybuilder, you'd think, "Oh, I need to get as much mass as possible." He competes in open bodybuilding. You've got to have a big boxy frame. You've got to have a lot of mass. Mass is king right now, obviously under control, but you need to be pretty big to compete in open bodybuilding. In my experience following him, he's talked a lot about bringing up lagging body parts, and his glutes were never really part of the conversation. I think that he's always really enjoyed where his glutes are. So it makes sense that he wouldn't deadlift anymore and move those resources to a body part that he really needs to bring up a little bit more. Obviously, that got me thinking, how can we really reach our goals if we're doing things that are actively working against those goals? His goal is to win the Olympia, right? So to do that, you need to have a really incredible physique. Obviously, he believes that his glutes are where they need to be, and he wants to move more resources to other body parts. So how can we take that idea and extrapolate it out to the general fitness connoisseur, right? Trying to lose weight, trying to gain some muscle, trying to be a better version of yourself. The key point there is you have to have a goal, and then everything you do has to service the goal. A lot of us are really good at doing that, maybe in ways that we know we're supposed to do. You know, if we're trying to lose weight, we're not in a calorie surplus. If we're trying to gain weight, we're not eating in calorie deficit. Obviously, those macro things really service the goal, and that's very easy. But where it becomes very difficult is the micro. So this idea that, no, I'm not going to do deadlifts, an exercise that I like because it is going to pull resources away from the work that I actually need to be doing. That's something that we don't really get. And in my coaching business with a lot of my clients, trying to manipulate their programming, their rest periods, all that stuff, and trying to find them something that will work for them, that will be enjoyable for them. But also, if they come to me and say, "Hey, I need to work on my shoulders," I'm not gonna be programming them a lot of heavy rows because their back looks great and I wanna get their shoulders prioritized. When they come in the gym on a push day, maybe we're not going to start with chest, we're gonna start with shoulders instead. What a concept. This is something that I see a ton of people do wrong. It's either doing too much work, doing work that is irrelevant to your goals. Understanding that you have one specific goal, you have finite amount of resources, finite amount of energy in your body. So those resources and that energy needs to be applied correctly to the goal that you are trying to reach. What I'm not saying is that you need to min-max and over-optimize every time you step in the gym. Obviously, that's minutia. That's going to take time away from just generally training. If you are a powerlifter, to a certain degree, your bodybuilding work is removing resources from powerlifting. That is the cold hard truth. Now, I'm not saying power building needs to go the wayside. I love power building. I love training in that style. Who doesn't want to be big and strong at the same time? But know that you are sacrificing some resources to your big three lifts if you are engaging in a power building structure. If you are a bodybuilder and you want to get as strong as possible on your 1 rep maxes in the traditional big three, know that you are removing some resources from your body building. You may need to be in a calorie surplus to get the most strength that you can. You may need to be at a body weight that may be uncomfortable for you as a competitive bodybuilder. These are things that are removing resources from the goal. The reason I'm making this video is that every now and again, do an audit of yourself and say, am I on the right path? Am I on a path that I want to continue down towards a goal that I have set? If yes, keep rolling with it. If you're in a time in your fitness journey where you want to both train your bodybuilding style and also get as strong as possible, go for it. Do the training that makes you happy. As you get closer to the goal, to the potential of that goal, you need to start peeling some things away that may not be as impactful towards that goal. Now, personally, I have definitely dealt with this problem before. As I get closer and closer to my first powerlifting competition, understanding that I have to pull some things away that I really enjoy. I'm a big fan of walking a ton. I love getting 15, 20,000 steps a day. But as I get closer and closer to competition, that started to kind of remove some of the ability for me to recover. So I've had to pare that down a little bit. Now, that's not something that I like to do, but for a season of I am going to compete, I need to make some of those sacrifices. We love to talk about sacrifices when it's stuff that we don't really like to do, but then that's not really a sacrifice. When we are trying to make a change in our body, we have to prioritize the goal. Now, we're not done quite yet. You've got to click on this video right here to find out how to develop the goal before you can follow it and make some sacrifices towards it. Get strong and stay strong, my friends. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.